Today, we bring you a South Korean zombie series called Zombie Detective. In this video, we will cover the entire first season of the series, so be sure to watch till the end, and don't forget to like and share. And if you're new to the channel and like the content, please subscribe too. The series begins on a heap of garbage, where a man is buried under some spiritual trash. Crows are flying all around. The man's eyes are wide open, and it seems like he is dead. A crow lands on his mouth and is about to peck his eye when suddenly the man wakes up, grabs the crow in his hand, and throws it away. As evening falls, he stands up, confused about what is happening to him. He holds a lighter and lights a cigarette, but the smoke doesn't come out of his mouth or nose. Instead, it comes out from different parts of his body. He looks at his shade and realizes his body is full of wounds that haven't healed at all. He gets scared and drops the cigarette, which falls near his feet, setting his foot on fire, but he doesn't feel any pain. He picks up a broken mirror nearby, looks at his face, and gets even more scared. His face has turned completely blue, as if he is a corpse or a dead body. He tries hard to think about how he ended up like this and mutters to himself, "What happened? How did this happen to me?" But no words come out, only strange growling sounds emerge from his mouth. Now he realizes that he is no longer human, he has become something else. He decides he doesn't want to live like a walking dead anymore. He goes into the forest and jumps off a high cliff. Almost all his bones break, but he doesn't feel any pain. No matter how hard he tries, he can't die. He thinks he must have committed some terrible sins to get this curse. He spends many days in a cave, constantly looking at his broken watch. His mind is trapped in painful memories, but he doesn't even realize what those memories are. One day, he steps outside and sees a rabbit. Feeling hungry, he tries to catch the rabbit, but suddenly he faints. When he wakes up, he finds himself eating the rabbit's flesh. He starts hating himself, thinking, how can I, a living being, catch and eat an animal? He wants to return to his normal life, but to do that, he will have to remember who he really is and how he became a zombie. Finally, to find out the truth, he leaves the forest and reaches a town. What has happened here? Has the world ended, or has a zombie virus attacked humanity? With many questions like these, he starts investigating to find out his identity. In the town, he finds a hoodie that belongs to a reporter named Sonia. Sonia is a crime reporter who had run away scared from a dog and accidentally threw her hoodie at it. That night, she comes back looking for her hoodie because her phone was in its pocket. She sees the man wearing her hoodie and says, "If you're feeling cold, keep the hoodie, but give me back my phone." The zombie doesn't try to talk to her because if he does, only strange growling sounds would come out of his mouth. He also doesn't make eye contact with her because he doesn't want the town people to know he is a zombie. Sonia takes her phone out of the pocket. But her nature is to bite humans. The zombie tries to bite her head, but he barely manages to control himself. Sonia thinks he is a homeless man and even gives him some money. The zombie decides that no matter what happens, he will never eat a human again. Then he goes back to the forest and tries to take eggs from a nest. He doesn't just throw one stone at the nest but many times, but luck is not on his side. He doesn't have enough strength left to throw the stones high enough. He gets very frustrated. He thinks, living in Sonia's body, I can't do anything, I can't walk fast, I can't speak, and I can't eat properly. I can't do anything like a human. Hungry and tired, he faints again. When he wakes up, he finds that he has eaten another living animal. He realizes this can't go on. Now, he has to make himself strong like a human so he can discover the truth about his past. But he knows humans are very cruel, and if they find out he is a zombie, they will kill him badly. So he goes to an old hall in town where there is a treadmill and tries his best to walk like a human. Because if he wants to know about himself, he has to live among humans, and for that, he has to learn to walk like one again. At first, he falls many times while trying, but soon he starts walking normally and comfortably on the treadmill. Then he goes to a cave and begins exercising by holding a small stick in his mouth. Slowly, he practices speaking the alphabets and improves a lot. Next, he tries to lift nuts by holding two sticks like chopsticks. After practicing like this for many days, he starts doing everything like a normal human. However, at night, he steals some clothes and shoes from a house and goes to rest at a graveyard. Suddenly, he smells the scent of meat. Zombies have an excellent sense of smell, so obviously, he detects a human nearby. He sees a man offering meat and other things at a grave. When the zombie approaches, the man hears him and thinks it's an animal. The man throws a piece of meat toward the zombie. The zombie starts eating it and tastes the flavor. Suddenly, another man comes and starts hitting the man at the grave with a stone while performing the ritual. The zombie drags the man's body away and pushes it down a high cliff. He watches everything carefully. Then he goes down and checks if the man is alive or dead. The man gives Sonia a key and says some words before dying. The zombie buries the man with respect and searches his bike for something useful. He finds an ID card and a business card. The man's name was Kim, and he was a private detective. The zombie decides to go to Kim's address and stay there for a few days. The house looks like it hasn't been cleaned for many years, and the fridge is full of food, which the zombie eagerly eats. But being a terra zombie, he can't digest cooked food well and ends up vomiting a lot at night. He needs money to buy raw meat, so he takes a job packing pizzas at a pizza shop. Then Kim's phone rings. Someone has lost their dog and wants Detective Kim to find it. At first, the zombie doesn't answer the call. He thinks, why get involved in neighborhood trouble? But then he decides, why not do the detective's work? I'll earn good money and meet people. He hopes to learn something about his past. He throws himself completely into becoming Detective Kim. To hide his face, he uses several beauty products and goes to the dog owner's house. But the dog owner is a little boy named June, who had called Detective Kim. Not only that, June is the son of Sonia's elder sister. June tells him, my dog's name is Humpty. Please find him. He gives a coin as payment. The zombie, annoyed, says, what will this do? Give me money. But June, being a kid, replies, you can't find the dog for this much. Go away, take your coin back. At that moment, Sonia arrives and thinks, who is this man talking to children and taking their money? She asks Kim for money, but the zombie tricks them all and escapes. Friends, you might be wondering, why do I keep calling him Kim? Because he has stolen Kim's identity. Then Sonia takes a helmet from a man and hits Kim on the head. As soon as the helmet hits, Kim falls unconscious. Zombies have a weak spot, any strong blow to the head knocks them out. Sonia, worried, checks his pulse. But where does a zombie have a pulse? Not knowing this, Sonia fears she might have killed him and hurriedly takes Kim to the hospital in an ambulance. Suddenly, Kim wakes up and scares everyone. Sonia forces him to stay there, but Kim starts thinking about how to escape. Meanwhile, the hospital arrives. Sonia keeps apologizing and calls a doctor. During this, Kim manages to slip away from the hospital. When he reaches his office, he tries to bite a man but somehow controls himself. Later, he sees another dog just like John's dog. Kim wants to eat this dog, but after seeing its innocent face, he doesn't. At that moment, he hears an announcement that free mutton soup is being given nearby, and that's Kim's favorite dish. He rushes there and the stall owner, Jonah, who is a good friend of Sonia, shows him the leftover super mutton and says, if you want, it'll cost money. At that stall, to promote it, some people are dancing in zombie costumes. They ask Kim to join them too, but he walks away angrily. He didn't get anything, not the mutton, not even the soup. Then Jonah says, if you dance, I'll give you free soup. Hearing this, his face lights up. He walks up and taps on the master zombie's tabs. What's there to tap? He already knows it. Now it's his turn to dance. And when he does, everyone is left stunned by his moves. Then Jonah hands out free soup coupons to all the dancers. But Kim sneaks into the kitchen and starts eating raw meat. The chef screams in fear. Sitting nearby is another detective named Rose, who tries to stop Kim and beat him up, but instead, he ends up getting beaten by Kim. Kim has now entered zombie mode and somehow escapes and runs back into the forest. He himself doesn't understand why he attacked that other detective. Why did I fight him? And how do I even know how to fight? Nothing makes sense. Back at the office, he starts practicing those fighting moves more seriously. Just as he's about to head out after applying what little beauty cream he has left, Sonia's aunt shows up. Kim doesn't want to meet Sonia face to face, so he hides under the table. Sonia barges in and hands him a settlement agreement, along with her phone number. But Kim tears up the agreement and later shows June some of his fighting moves. He asks June, have you seen this move anywhere before? June thinks for a moment and then takes Kim to his class. There, Kim demonstrates the move again and asks everyone, have you seen this move before? Do you know what it's called? Kim believes that this move is somehow connected to his past. If he can find out more about it, he might learn who he really is and how he became a zombie. One day, while walking on the street, he sees a news report on a TV screen. It's about the murder of a little girl named Shavri. The news says she was kidnapped and murdered on Christmas night. The kidnapper was dressed as Santa Claus. Then Shavri's photo is shown on screen, and something happens inside Kim. He suddenly starts banging on the glass window in distress. Even he doesn't understand what's happening to him or why he's reacting that way. When he returns to the office, the landlord shows up asking for rent. Well, whether you're a human or a zombie, rent has to be paid. Thinking about how to make some money, he comes up with a new idea. He charges June and his friends $5 to play with the new dog. Then he picks up the settlement agreement Sonia had given him, the same one Kim had torn up, and says, now I'll ask for a settlement of $100,000. But when he takes the torn agreement to Sonia, a card gang kidnaps her, because she was about to expose their crimes. Kim fearlessly steps in and stands right in front of their vehicle on the road, saving Sonia from the gang. Later, when he asks her about the settlement amount, Sonia, completely drunk, just falls asleep leaning against his chest. Back home, when Kim showers, he suddenly gets a vision. For a moment, he sees how he actually died. He was shot in the stomach. That's why he still has a hole there. To fight his hunger, he tries catching pigeons, and he starts putting up his business card in public toilets hoping someone will hire him. Just then, Sonia shows up again. Kim is excited, thinking today, she's definitely going to pay me $100,000. He tells her, ever since you hit me on the head with that helmet, I haven't been able to function properly. I need $100,000 as settlement. But instead, Sonia starts crying about her own struggles. I'm in worse shape than you, she says. If you want, I can be your assistant. No salary needed. Now Kim starts hating Sonia. What is this? I'm asking for money, and she wants to work under me instead? He tells her to get out. Go outside. Right then, an old client of the real Kim shows up. She's an actress, and her daughter, Java, has been missing for a month. She offers a lot of money to find her daughter. Sonia confidently says, I'm Kim's assistant. Don't worry, we'll find your daughter soon. She starts asking the client relevant questions like a pro, thanks to her experience in crime reporting. Now Kim realizes that for this detective work, he actually needs Sonia. He agrees to take her on as his assistant. Sonia's investigation leads them to suspect a meditation center. Kim then joins a course at the meditation center and sneaks in a bit of meat to eat, something for lunch, because they only serve vegetarian food there. But the center's manager snatches away his meat container. During the day, everything seems normal. But at night, Kim goes out wandering and ends up in a tunnel where a secret meeting is taking place. The group's leader is giving his followers some sort of drug that converts them to follow him blindly. As soon as Sonia finds out about this, she immediately calls Rose, and both of them go to investigate the center. But Sonia isn't allowed inside. So the next time, she sneaks in hidden inside a drum. She's determined to find Java no matter what. Eventually, in the building's basement, she spots Java and rescues her. But just then, she sees the cult leader and tries to attack him. However, the center's manager catches her. Kim arrives and, using playing cards like knives, takes down the manager. Sonia tries to stop the cult leader too, but he comes at her with his sharp walking stick, trying to stab her. At the last second, Kim steps in and saves her, but the walking stick goes straight through his stomach. Still, Kim doesn't feel anything, just rage. In his anger, he grabs the cult leader by the neck, but Sonia stops him. Then the police arrive and arrest the cult leader and his entire group. Java is sent back to her mother, and everyone goes back to their homes. Sonia celebrates with her family over fried chicken, while Kim enjoys his own version of a celebration, cleaning up and eating raw meat. But what he doesn't know is that a detective named Sun Rock is watching him from across the street. Observing Kim's behavior leaves Sun Rock feeling frightened and suspicious. Meanwhile, Sonia comes by and sees the huge holes in Kim's body, and runs away in fear. She goes home and starts searching online. Do zombies really exist? That's when her brother walks in and tells her, yes, zombies do exist, even one lives in our neighborhood. Slowly, things begin to click in Sonia's mind, why Kim had no heartbeat that day, and how he survived getting stabbed with a sharp walking stick straight through his stomach. Sonia tells herself, my boss Kim is actually a zombie, but it's still hard for her to truly believe it. Now fully geared up in protective clothing, she heads to Kim's office and demands, pay me for all the work I've done. But suddenly, she starts having stomach pain and collapses right there. She fears Kim will eat her, but instead, Kim rushes her to the hospital. When she regains consciousness and finds herself still alive, Sonia finally understands, yes, Kim is a zombie, but he's a good zombie. Now she isn't scared of Kim anymore. In fact, she starts helping him at the office and decides to fully support him in uncovering his past. Back when Kim had first realized he'd become a zombie, he had on a particular outfit, a watch, and was holding a lighter. Sonia takes photos of all of these items. She uploads the photo of the lighter to social media, hoping someone out there will recognize it and contact them. Soon, she gets a call from an unknown number. The person on the line says, I know something about this lighter, and tells them to meet him at a location. Kim and Sonia wait there, but suddenly the meeting gets cancelled. Just as they're about to leave, someone else shows up, Sean, the eyewitness from Shavri's murder case. Sean is talking to them when he suddenly gets a phone call. His mother, who suffers from dementia, has wandered off into the mountains. Sonia wants to help him, so she gives him Kim's business card. Now, Kim usually doesn't take on cases unless he's paid, but because of Sonia, he agrees to take this one for free. Kim and Sonia head into the mountains to find Sean's mom. While searching, Kim finds a senior citizen ID card, belonging to Sean's mom. A little further away, they spot her sitting by herself. But suddenly, a wild boar appears and charges at Sonia. Like a true hero, Kim jumps in and saves her. And then, the fight begins, Kim versus the wild boar. Kim doesn't realize just how strong the boar is, it starts tossing him around in every direction. Left, right, up, down, the boar thrashes him like a rag doll. Now Kim comes up with a plan. He climbs onto a rock ledge and positions himself, ready for the next move. Then Kim taunts the wild boar, shouting, come on then, bring it on. The boar charges toward him at full speed. At the last moment, Kim sidesteps, and the boar tumbles straight into a pit. But, bad luck strikes, one of the boar's tusks snags Kim's coat, and Kim ends up falling into the pit with it. Sonia runs down, terrified, calling out for Kim. But come on, he's a zombie. It's not like he's going to die. Sure enough, Kim casually walks back, strong and unharmed, dragging the dead boar behind him. He's even happy about it. Well, there's my packed lunch for days to come. He now has meat to survive on for a while. Kim and Sonia take the elderly woman back to Sean. The old lady, who has dementia, mistakes Kim for her own son and hugs him tightly, crying, "Where did you disappear, son?" Sean gently corrects her, saying, "Mom, I'm your son," and takes her home. This makes Kim realize, maybe my mother is still out there searching for me too. Feeling emotional, Sonia takes Kim to a fortune teller who claims she can read his future just by looking at his hand. Kim doesn't believe in this stuff, but Sonia insists. The woman does a weird little dance and signals Sonia, money first, future later. Sonia pays her. The fortune teller starts sharing some important sounding details about Kim, and for a moment, Kim begins to believe, maybe I'll actually learn about my past. But then she demands even more money. Sonia becomes suspicious. She remembers this woman from a crime case she once reported. Turns out, she was actually the con artist involved. To expose her, Sonia smears lipstick on her, then yanks off her hair, revealing a wig. It is the same scammer. Kim loses all hope again. How am I ever going to find out the truth about myself? Trying to lighten the mood, Sonia rings a bell loudly just to mess with the scammer. But as the bell rings, Kim feels strange. He suddenly starts getting flashbacks. He sees Shavri standing with a doll. His head begins to throb painfully. He feels suffocated and rushes outside for air. He tells Sonia, "I don't know why, but I saw a vision of Shavri, and she was holding a doll." Sonia had covered the Shavri case as a reporter, but nowhere in the case records had a doll ever been mentioned. This raises alarm bells. She immediately calls Detective Rose, the one who had investigated the case. But even he says, there was no mention of a doll. Now Kim starts wondering, what if I had some connection to Shavri? Sonia takes Kim to Shavri's house, but her father is away for work in another city and won't return for a week. They have to leave empty-handed. Back home, Sonia tries to sleep when she receives a photo message. It's Shavri holding a doll, the same one Kim saw in his vision. She realizes, this is exactly what I saw. The next day at the office, Sonia finds everything torn apart, as if someone broke in searching for something. She checks all her belongings. Everything is intact except the lighter. Now she realizes it was stolen. Kim deduces that it must have been Sean. His lighter is missing. Without telling Sonia, he goes to confront Sean to ask about his past. Sean accuses Kim, "You're responsible for Shavri's kidnapping and murder." Kim can't believe it. Could he really have killed an innocent girl? He wonders if this is why he's cursed to live as a zombie. Overwhelmed by guilt and disgust, he decides he can't go on living and prepares to use a drilling machine to drill into his own head. But the machine suddenly stops working. As he tries to fix the wiring, he gets shocked and collapses. Meanwhile, Sonia visits Shavri's father. In his home, she finds a photo of Shavri with a man wearing a watch identical to Kim's. She asks about the man in the photo. Shavri's father reveals that the man was her bodyguard. Hearing this, Sonia feels relieved. Kim's a good person, and Shavri trusted him. Thrilled, she decides to tell Kim she's discovered his past. But when she goes to his office, he's gone. On his desk, there are photos of Sean. Sonia realizes Kim never warned her about Sean. Piecing things together, she guesses where Kim might have gone. She texts, "I'm heading to Sean's house." Kim gets home and tries calling her, but there's no signal. Panicked, Kim runs toward the city to protect Sonia from Sean. At Sean's place, Sean and his wife grow nervous when they hear a knock at the door. When his wife opens it, there's Sonia. She says, "I got a new CCTV clip from the night Shavri disappeared. I need to talk to Sean about it, he was the only eyewitness." She attempts to play the video. But suddenly, she sees Sean lifting a hammer. Quick thinking, Sonia throws hot tea at Sean and locks herself inside a room. Inside with her are Sean's mother and wife, all shocked and confused about what's just happened. Now Sonia pleads, "Please call the police. Your husband is the murderer." But Sean's wife hits Sonia on the head and knocks her unconscious. Actually, both husband and wife had murdered Shavri together. They tie Sonia up. Now Sean confesses that, "We killed Shavri together." Hearing this, Sonia becomes very angry. Sean, with attitude, tells his wife, "I have work outside. Finish her off." Saying this, he leaves. And when his wife comes to take Sonia's life, Sonia has already cut the rope. But Sean's wife overpowers her. At that moment, Sonia's hand falls on a cockroach repellent spray, and she sprays it on the woman's face. Taking advantage of the moment, Sonia escapes from there, but Sean's wife doesn't stop chasing her. Just then, Kim arrives and helps Sonia hide. Sonia tells him, "Sean was lying to you. You didn't kill Shavri. He and his wife did. When they kidnapped Shavri, her father had given you the task to find her." Now Kim feels relieved that he didn't kill Shavri. On the other hand, Shravan and his wife are fleeing the city. But his wife had forgotten something at home and goes back to get it. But just then, the police surround the house, and Sean's wife gets arrested. Seeing this, Sean leaves his wife behind and escapes alone. But he was not going to stay quiet. For getting his wife arrested, he would definitely take revenge on Sonia and Kim. He is extremely angry. But Kim, even though he is a zombie, is more kind-hearted than humans because he wants to give Sean a chance to tell his side of the story. He wants to know, why did Sean and his wife commit such a horrific crime? This kind-hearted zombie at least deserves to have some friends. Now, Kim calls Sean and asks him to come to a place, saying he has something very important to discuss. Sean's car is parked there, and Sean is waiting in a nearby shed. Kim tells him, I've left a gift for you in the car. Take it out and see, it has all the information about your past. As soon as Kim opens the door, the car explodes. Sean breathes a sigh of relief, thinking Kim is dead. But what he doesn't know is that Kim is a zombie and won't die so easily. So, let me remind you again, the Kim we're talking about isn't the real Kim. The real Kim is already dead. This one is the zombie we call Kim. Think of him as the bodyguard. Now Kim remembers everything, that he was actually Shari's bodyguard. On Christmas night, when Shari was kidnapped, Kim found a lighter that belonged to Sean. Through that, Kim discovered that Shari was with Sean. When Kim went there, Sean had kept Shari captive. Kim tried to rescue Shari, but Sean attacked him from behind, causing Kim to lose consciousness immediately. Sean took Kim to the forest, shot him in the stomach, and left him for dead. That's what happened that day. Now, angry, Kim heads toward the shed where Sean and the old woman, whom Sean calls his mother, are. Kim brutally beats Sean until blood starts flowing from Sean's mouth. But Sean just starts laughing, which angers Kim even more. Sean asks, why did you take the life of that innocent little girl? Sean then shifts the blame onto Kim, saying, if you hadn't come to save Shari that day, she would have been alive and happy with me. Kim finds this excuse utterly ridiculous and moves to punch him again. But just then, Sean shoots Kim with a gun. This time, Sean thinks Kim is really dead. He starts to leave with his mother, but Kim rises again. Fear grips Sean. He keeps firing bullets at Kim, but where are the bullets going? Will the bullets affect Kim at all? Then Sean aims at Kim's head. Kim starts panicking because if the bullet hits his head, he will surely die. At that moment, Sean fires, but his mother steps in front of Kim and takes the bullet. Kim is confused, wondering why she intervened. To save me, that woman calls him Miho, which is his real name. Kim means he is a friend of that bodyguard because the real Kim is already dead. Now Miho's hands and feet go cold because that woman is actually his mother. Then he starts having visions of his mother waking him up, feeding him. For so many days, Miho had been searching for his mother. That day, even after seeing her in the forest, he hadn't realized she was his mother, but now he knows. However, right before his eyes, his mother has already died. He hugs her and starts crying uncontrollably, with fire blazing in his eyes, wanting to finish Sean. He quickly picks up his gun but Sean runs fast towards him. In the next scene, Miho's soul is shown. It will never die, but it will feel pain. Losing his mother breaks him completely. He sits down in a corner. After this soul scene, Sonia asks, did you eat Sean? Miho doesn't answer directly but says, you don't need to come to work from tomorrow. Actually, after losing his past, Miho no longer wants to be Detective King. The next day, he leaves King's office, the court, everything behind. But Sonia is not happy about this because she liked working with Miho. Yet, deep down, she is also afraid, what if Miho has eaten Shravan? She calls Roz every day asking, did you find Shravan's body anywhere? Did someone eat him? Or, did someone bite him? Roz laughs and says, don't talk like a crazy person. He was shot, and he died from severe blood loss. Hearing this, Sonia feels relieved and happy that Miho hasn't fallen so low as to become a cannibal. Then she packs her beauty products and chicken, getting ready to start a new journey. On the way, Miho passes through the market, where he sees chicken and mutton soup. This reminds him of the happy moments he spent with Sonia. There is no expression on his face, but deep inside, he misses Sonia a lot. When he was part of the detective team, he used to get raw chicken and mutton, but all the money he earned as a detective he left in the office. Now, he starts feeling hungry. Seeing humans makes his mouth water, and he feels like eating them, but somehow he still manages to control himself and tries to satisfy his hunger by eating ants. But how long can a zombie control its nature? His eyes start turning completely red, and he begins searching for raw meat in a trash bin. Just then, he sees a man passing by. Miho switches into mode and starts following the man. But again, because of hunger, he suddenly faints and falls down. When he regains consciousness, he finds himself in Kim's office. Around him are scattered chicken bones. He gets scared. What if he killed someone while unconscious? Seeing scratch marks on the door made by nails, he becomes even more afraid that he might have done something terrible. At that moment, Sonia arrives. She understands that it is very difficult for a zombie to control himself. Just seeing humans makes their eyes crave to eat them, that's their zombie nature. Miho then asks Sonia for help to get out of this condition. Sonia happily agrees to help him. She gives him self-control training. For example, she places a plate of raw chicken in front of him and tells him, now stop, make up your mind that you won't eat this. She ties him up and keeps him sitting in front of the chicken for 3 days straight. She keeps him hungry for 72 hours to make sure that when hunger becomes unbearable, he doesn't slip into mode. To monitor his behavior, she even sets up a camera inside his room and sits outside to observe him. After only 38 hours, Miho tries to break his control. Sonia realizes that when he goes into that mode, his body gains unimaginable strength. But Sonia is only human and gets sleepy. After a while, she suddenly wakes up and peeks through the door gap. She sees Miho sitting on the floor, eating that chicken like an animal. Now, when Miho sees Sonia, he starts wanting to eat her too. Unfortunately, the door lock is broken, and Miho moves towards Sonia to attack her. Sonia runs to save her life, but Miho doesn't let her go. Sonia falls down, and Miho pounces on her, about to bite her neck. At the last moment, Sonia grabs a fire extinguisher pen and hits Miho on the head with a loud noise. Miho falls unconscious. The next morning, Miho wakes up with a start and innocently asks, "Did I do something last night? Did I do anything bad to you? By the way, what do you think about this different side of Miho's character? Friends? Comment below and let me know, because if you're watching such a big series, don't leave without commenting." Sonia says, "When you're in mode, you become very violent all day, but now I have finally figured out a way to control you." She shows him a Frank pen. Bina's face is completely wiped off of all beauty cream and makeup effects, and Sonia tells him, "Don't use makeup like this. I actually like your zombie face. And you should stay in the office, it'll keep you safe and keep others safe from you." Miho agrees with her and once again decides to take on Kim's identity. He's thankful to Kim because even though Kim is dead, thanks to him, Miho is living a human life and now knows everything about his past. Now he wants to find out who actually killed Detective Kim that day in the forest. Sonia tells him that Detective Kim had gone to pray at his father's grave. Kim had no family, so no one even asked about him. Kim's killer was Nippon, who has recently been released from jail. Nippon had illegally dumped some medicines on the mountain, which got him arrested. As soon as he got out, he called Kim's office and found out Kim was alive. Although he had pushed Kim off the mountain to kill him, suspicion grew. So, he tells Sun Rock, "Keep an eye on that fake detective sitting in Kim's office." Meanwhile, Miho and Sonia try to uncover more about Kim. They find a bill from a salon where Kim had last visited. When they visit that salon and inquire, they learn about a Dr. No, who runs a veterinary hospital. He captures stray animals from the streets and performs various experiments on them. Miho and Sonia head to Dr. No's clinic, but it's closed. Seeing Dr. No's photo there, Miho immediately recognizes him as the same man who pushed the real detective off the cliff that night. Sun Rock, who is following Miho everywhere, informs Dr. No that the fake Kim has been coming to his clinic. Dr. No says, "You bring him kidnapped to me, and then I'll see what I can do." Now, Sun Rock and his assistant together set up an electric trap at Kim's office storage and wait for Miho to arrive. Miho steps in, but nothing happens to him. Instead, the entire city's power goes out. When there's no sound for a long time, Sun Rock and his assistant enter inside to kidnap Miho. But Miho is not shocked. Instead, he's calmly sitting on a chair. Sun Rock accidentally traps himself in his own electric trap and faints. His assistant touches him and also gets a shock. Their plan fails, but Sun Rock doesn't give up. Next time, he sends 6 men to kidnap Miho. But Miho, as if taking on many avatars, beats them all up badly. Sun Rock watches all this from the house opposite. Then Sun Rock decides to come to the battlefield himself. A fierce fight breaks out between Sun Rock and Miho, but Miho's skin becomes visible. That's when Sun Rock realizes he could feast on it for many days. Miho tries very hard to control himself, but he can't resist opening his mouth to bite Sun Rock. Sun Rock instantly becomes suspicious and pulls out a sharp object, stabbing Miho through the chest. But nothing happens to Miho. Now Sun Rock thinks this is no human but a monster. Nothing harms him, but Miho is not thinking about anything else right now, he just wants to eat Sun Rock. Somehow, though, he controls himself and runs away from there. At that moment, Sonia arrives. She can't run as fast as Miho, but she throws things with aim, and Miho can't respond. We've already seen this in action before. She picks up a frying pan and hits him on the head, and Miho doesn't miss a beat. He falls straight down, unconscious. Sonia takes him back to the office. Now, seeing Miho in his real form, the zombie form, she gets so scared, it's as if she's seen a ghost. The very next day, Miho returns Dr. No's money and says, "I will never work for you again. He is not human, he's a monster. I tore his heart out, but he still didn't die. Suddenly, he got up fresh and attacked me. Then he ran so fast, you can't imagine." But Dr. No is happy that although they couldn't kidnap Miho, at least they got his DNA. Now he can find out what kind of power Miho has that nothing affects him. Dr. No injects Miho's DNA into a rabbit, which then turns into a zombie. Sun Rock tells Dr. No that Miho and Sonia had asked him about Nippon and about those who went missing 5 years ago. Just then, the doorbell rings. Dr. No heads towards the door, but Sun Rock hears the sound too. He goes towards it and notices a door behind the fridge. He opens it and enters, finding a lab-like room. Inside, there are cages with many animals. One very large cage is covered with cloth. When he pulls the cover away, he faints. Inside the cage is also an exam, some kind of test or subject. In the next scene, Miho is shown sitting in his office when someone knocks at the door. He opens it to find Dr. No standing there wearing a gas mask. Dr. No sprays a chemical on the floor, and Miho immediately faints. Dr. No kidnaps him and takes him to his secret lab, where he takes blood samples and starts testing him. Miho asks, "Why are you doing such dangerous experiments?" Dr. No replies, "I loved my wife very much. One day she passed away, but I couldn't imagine life without her. I performed many experiments to create a drug that brought her back to life, but she wasn't a normal human, she became a zombie. I started experimenting on animals and humans to find a cure to turn my wife back into a normal person. But Detective Kim found out about my experiments and realized I was giving my dangerous drugs to Nippon, who disposed of them on the mountain. That's why I had to get rid of Detective Kim. But I didn't realize that where I had disposed of those dangerous drugs was exactly where Sean had buried Miho. After coming into contact with those dangerous drugs, Miho, who was dead, became like my wife, a zombie." Meanwhile, Sonia searches for Miho and reaches Dr. No's clinic. She had installed an app called Couple on both their phones so they could track each other's location. Using this, Sonia learns that Miho is at Dr. No's clinic. The clinic appears closed, but the electricity meter is still running, meaning something is definitely happening inside. Seizing the opportunity, Sonia quietly sneaks into the clinic and heads straight to the secret lab. There, she is shocked to see Dr. No's wife. Sonia then frees Sun Rock and his assistant, who had been imprisoned by Dr. No. Next, she goes to cut Bina's ropes. Just then, Dr. No's zombie wife rises and lunges straight at Sonia. But at the last moment, Bina's ropes come undone, and he saves Sonia from the attack. He tries to communicate with Dr. No's wife in the zombie language, but before anything else can happen, Dr. No arrives with a gun. He provokes his wife, asking where she thinks they should go. To everyone's surprise, she attacks Sun Rock instead of them. Meanwhile, someone tries to snatch the gun from Dr. No. During the scuffle, the trigger is accidentally pulled from the men's house, and a bullet hits Dr. No's wife in the head, killing her instantly. Devastated, Dr. No breaks down and cries beside his wife's body. Just then, the police arrive and arrest Dr. No. The others receive medical treatment, and it seems the case is finally solved. But no, the police vehicle carrying Dr. No meets with an accident. Although he survives, it turns out the people had taken his medicine themselves, which is why they became zombies after death. Now, Minheo, Sonia, Sun Rock, and his assistant join forces to plan how to finally eliminate Dr. No. They know Dr. No's wife's body is kept in the morgue, and he will definitely come to retrieve it. Before he can do so, they steal her body from there and set a trap for Dr. No. Everything is going smoothly until, unexpectedly, Dr. No attacks and kidnaps Sonia. He then summons Minheo to a location. A fierce fight breaks out between the two, with Minheo proving stronger than Dr. No. Minheo struggles to get up, but in the chaos, Dr. No drags Sonia toward a car. Just then, Roz arrives and points a gun at Dr. No's head, demanding he release Sonia. However, Dr. No isn't afraid, knowing Roz won't shoot him. He shoves Roz onto the car and snatches the gun from him. At that moment, Sonia quickly overpowers Roz and takes control of the gun. He kicks and then quickly grabs the gun. He points it at Dr. No's head and says, "Aim." But Dr. No doesn't resist because he knows Minheo is kind-hearted and won't pull the trigger. He was right. Minheo doesn't pull the trigger but instead puts their plan into action, one that he had made with Sonia, Sun Rock, and his assistant. Sun Rock and his assistant arrive in full force, confidently marching in. They're wearing gas masks and have brought one for Sonia as well. Once all four of them are safe, they spray the same chemical Dr. No had created, and Dr. No collapses. They check up close to see if he's really unconscious or just faking. Suddenly, Dr. No springs up and grabs Sun Rock, going to bite his neck. Minheo immediately points the gun at Dr. No's head. Dr. No thinks Minheo won't shoot again, but Minheo doesn't give him even a second to think and pulls the trigger. The shot hits, and Minheo looks deeply saddened. Perhaps he had hoped that through Dr. No's experiments, he could become normal again. But now, that hope is completely shattered. Sonia tries to encourage him, but Minheo has made up his mind, he will no longer live as a fake human among humans. He decides to live somewhere far away from people. Meanwhile, Sonia continues the detective team's work. 1 year later, Sonia receives an invitation to a Halloween party. She goes to the party, hoping that Minheo might be there as well. At the party, a man dressed in a white suit is sitting and drinking. It's Minheo. Seeing him, Sonia's face lights up. She runs to him and starts talking. Suddenly, someone shouts that a murder has taken place there, and once again, Minheo and Sonia will have to solve a new case. And with that, the first season of this series comes to an end, friends. If you enjoyed this explanation and video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share. Thanks for watching. Goodbye till next time.